welcome back to another week of Gospel Ripples. It's so good to have Pastor Tom back with us.
And it's good to be back, and I'm just going to jump in. I actually want you to share first, but one of my little tiny things that I caught was just as they were coming out and God starts providing direction for them, there's this little phrase that says, God did not lead them by way of the land of the Philistines, although that was the best route or the closest, because he knew they couldn't handle war yet. And I just love the little glimpse of the sovereignty of God in reference to timing and direction isn't always what we think.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's actually related to what I saw this week. Just God working behind the scenes because he knows what's best.
Yeah.
Teaching the Israelites and teaching us.
Awesome.
But what I saw this week was from chapter 14, which has been a prominent theme that God seems to be showing me often, is that salvation is by God and by him alone. It has nothing to do with us. And we see this in the Red Sea, the story and picture of this. Chapter 14, verse 13, Moses said to the people, "Do not fear, stand by and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will accomplish for you today." And then it says, "The Lord will fight for you while you keep silent." Wow. So we see the helplessness of the people and their passivity. They're kind of boxed in this corner, nowhere for them to go, nothing for them to do to save themselves. They have no weapons to fight with, and they're boxed in this corner. And then Moses says, just stand still and see how God is going to rescue you and fight for you. And it just shows that we really bring nothing to the table when it comes to salvation, only to receive what God has done for us.
Right.
And that allows for God to truly get all the glory because he does all the work.
Yeah.
We bring nothing. And then that also preserves just the grace of salvation for us because it's free and undeserved and he does it all. So many different angles you could look at the Red Sea with, but just the might and power of God and him alone in salvation stood out to me.
Super good.
What was something you saw this week?
Yeah, well, besides just the ripple effect of the Red Sea parting, which we see, I love that part where then, well, I don't love the part where they're grumbling. I really think I should read that grumbling section every day just to be like, what am I doing? Why should I do that? But then the way that the Lord just comes alongside of their doubts and discouragement and their grumbling and their rebellion and just lays down his providence and his mercy for them. And we see that as he tells Moses to go out with the staff, which pictured both providing and at times pictured punishment or wrath. And he said, "Behold, I will stand before you there on the rock of Horeb, and you shall strike the rock and water shall come out of it and the people will drink." And this year, as we were studying through Exodus, just saw that powerfully pictures Jesus Christ. Paul alerts us to that in 1 Corinthians 10:4 and says that rock was Christ. And so as God says, go stand out on the rock, I will be out on the rock. And then we know like how God provides refreshment and Jesus is the source of living water, that there's a powerful picture there. But the catch or the bonus for me was then this year seeing not only that, but Christ being the rock as Moses hid it was actually a picture of Christ fulfilling and taking on the wrath that we deserved because of our sin. And that God lays out his mercy first in withholding punishment we deserved and putting it on Christ. And then I really think that God's mercy often rolls out the red carpet for then his amazing grace. And so what happens first is he withholds his wrath, and then what he does is he gives renewal and refreshment in pouring out the water that pictures Jesus Christ.
Some really amazing pictures there that constantly all throughout the story point towards Christ. The rock was Christ, the water is Christ. And then we saw earlier in Exodus 12 that the lamb pictures Christ. So many amazing pictures here.
Yeah, and the bloodshed, he just keeps on bringing us back. There's so many ripples,
Yeah.
and so many just amazing truths that point us to Jesus. And encourage you guys to keep on plugging and keep on growing through the Bible.